In our short film Backstage, we had 3 very different scenes, and in this video I'm going to show you how we lit them. Welcome to the film look. Rocket Stock's Light Lead Pack Illuminate is a sure way to impress your viewers. Shot using digital cinema cameras in 4K, it's an unbeatable way to lift your video to new cinematic heights. Link in the description. 90% of our short film is set in a locker room, and the location we had for this scene was an old disused school. We spoke about how we dressed the set in a previous video if you want to check it out after this one. Interior locker room night. The room was 5.7 meters by 3.7 meters and it had 7 windows. To make sure we could keep the light consistent as we were going to shoot a night scene during the day, we decided to block out all of the windows, which really helped sell the effect this is a rundown venue. The room had 4 fluorescent lights, which were 36 watts each, and had a colour temperature of 3200 Kelvin. These were the only lights we used to light the scene. We did this because lighting people from above is not the most flattering lighting setup, which really fit the grimy tone of the film, and this type of room would have these types of lights. Since this type of lighting setup creates a very even look throughout the room, we added DIY skirts to each of the lights. By blocking out the light from hitting everywhere, it creates a vignette around our subjects, as they are standing directly below the light and the walls are not being hit by as much intensity as our subject. Also, to help bounce more light downwards, we painted the inside of the skirts white. Our white balance on the camera was set to fluorescent warm white. The tube lights had a green tint to them, so we adjusted the colour gamut in the white balance settings to take away this green tint, and to make sure the whites were white. In the final grade, we did add some of the green tint back into the final image, but because we had strong colours coming from the walls and one of our characters' costumes, it was important to shoot everything as clean as possible. By only using ceiling strip lights, it allowed us to move more quickly while shooting, as we did not have to change to the lighting setup after each shot. The only lighting change we made on the day was to either add a little bit of bounce light to bring up the dark shadows on our costumes or under the actor's chin. Also, we had to flag the light from hitting one of our character's bright shiny costumes, as it was becoming overexposed while shooting at different angles in the room. This was the only exterior scene in our film, and it was at night. By using the Sony A7S, we did not have to worry about our ISO being too high and creating noise, but we still needed to light the scene. We chose a car park which had floodlights which we could use to light the scene. The tracking shot was filmed by our friend who was a wicked Glycam operator, and to light this we simply boomed a 160 LED overhead whilst he was walking. We placed an Aperture HR627C LED panel in the back seat of the car, so when the car door opened we used the remote to turn it on, simulating the in-car light. Just as we were setting up for the next shot in the scene, which was an over-shoulder shot of our character whilst people walked past, the floodlights went off. At this point we only had 2 shots left to shoot for the entire film. We had a prop car and extra cast members, so we had to find a way to shoot the last 2 shots. The over-the-shoulder shot shows the rest of the car park, which is now in complete darkness, but luckily we had 4 cars, so we turned on everyone's car lights to light up the car park. The final scene of the film was set behind a backstage curtain. On the other side of the curtain will be a wrestling ring and a crowd. We could not afford to show this, so we faked it with sound. The location we shot the scene in already had large blackout curtains, so we just needed to block out the other walls with more blackout curtains. For the main angle in this scene, we used the Aperture HR627C LED panel again, set to 5500 Kelvin as our key light for our subjects. And we also had disco lights which will be used at an event like this. When speaking to our first AC Rob before the shoot, he said he already had a set of disco lights we could use, and it definitely helped to set the scene. We did not use many lights in this film, and in our main scene, we only used the lights that were available. For us, finding this main location with everything we needed saved us time when shooting, but it also saved us money because we did not need to buy or rent any lights. So for the next film you make, think about how you will light your scene with the things you already have access to. You might already have everything you need to make your film. If you would like to see more videos about the making of our short film Backstage, consider subscribing. Big thanks to the team at Rocket Stock for sponsoring this video. Light leaks are a great way to impress your viewers, and Rocket Stock's Light Leak Pack can be found if you head over to rocketstock.com or via the link in the description, so you can start using these effects in your next project too. If you haven't already seen our short film Backstage, you can find it on screen right now. Thanks for watching the film look, and remember, achieve it one shot at a time.